discussion. Can't you see them dad boys are casting? Testing competition on their podcast mission. Never know what you get. It's chaotic precision. If you don't know, you better find out the Dad Pack. Are here to prove a point. We three kings just believe that you don't want to tussle with them. This show is thunder. Subscribe and tune in, and you're laughing to the very end. Don't turn your back on the Dad Pack. Don't turn your back on the Dad Pack.
Put the kids to bed. The dads are home. We are the DWO podcast, representing the dad world order, where the jokes are bad, the advice is questionable, but the love is all real. I am the pretty-faced papa, Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. And with me, as always, the rest of this patriarch pack. We've got the big bad bearded daddy. He is Big Rig Eric Maffey.
Honk if you hear me, baby.
Oh, yeah. 10-4, good buddy. And he is the perpetual mid-carter and the two-time world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Bo Cephas.
Cowabunga indeed, ladies and gentlemen. It's day 1,509 of wearing consecutive days wearing a wrestling shirt, and it's another Stone Cold shirt, but it's brand new. This is a new one.
That's
So
cool.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. My wife got it.
What?
She's very nice.
Love that, dude. Love that. Over 1,500 days. What a freaking achievement. But I'll tell you what, our guest tonight has had a plethora of achievements. We have a very special guest for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is a writer with a long list of accolades, from video games to television shows. I mean, everybody's favorite Clay Green guy, Gumby. I mean, let's be real. You know what I mean? Video games. We got ClayFighter. We got ClayFighter 63 and a third. We got Primal Rage. We got ClayFighter Sculptor's Cut. That's just up until 1998. You know what I mean? We haven't even hit 2000 yet. So this guy has an absolute plethora. We got Mad World. We got a smorgasbord of Sonic games. And the TV show list, if I read it, we would be here for another 15 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and introduce him, the one and only Ken Pontac. Sir, how the heck are you?
I am so fucking good right now. I'm talking to the world. I get to talk about myself for an hour. That is a subject that is near and dear to my heart.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what we like to hear here, for real.
Oh, by the way, I just have to say that your theme music slaps. I was
Yes.
I was bobbing my head like a chicken.
Heck yeah.
That's me. I did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Him and his band. Yeah, man. I just going over. We obviously pulled all your credits here. I'm assuming these are all accurate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but man, just so much throughout your career.
Yeah.
And it has it ever? Obviously, you have a ton of credits to your name, but have you ever had a time? The old adage of like writer's block, where you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, how do you get out of funks like that? Do you have any like little things that just help you out to get out of stuff like that, to be creative again?
Yeah, I close the computer and I do housework. I take a shower, and the thing that has worked the best for me over the years is mindlessly moving my body through space, getting behind the wheel and just driving. And it's like all the shit that's cluttered up in my head stays in one place, and it stays here, and then I go there.
There you go.
Bye shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works amazingly well. To the point that I have to, have a recorder in the car all the time, because when I run to get down, I might die.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's good call. Good call.
Yeah.
But I mean, just being cognitive of knowing like what breaks that funk for you is a huge advantage itself.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do occasionally sweat deadlines, which is really stupid because I have a reputation for being like ridiculously fast, but I still worry, and maybe that's why I'm so fast.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, with being punctual.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like putting a little pressure on yourself, like not to the point of completely stressing yourself out, but you're setting yourself to a standard, which everybody else might think is fast, but to you, it's just, no, I'm just on time.
Yeah. Give me a deadline and I will fuck around until the last minute and then get it in before deadline.
Still before deadline.
If you're early, then you're late, or whatever it is my dad used to say.
I did something that was so stupid once. I was working on a show called War Planets. Same guys that did ReBoot back in the day. And I wrote an outline that I knew was tight. I just knew it was tight. And so before I got notes on the outline, I took the whole thing to script. And then when I got the notes, there were just like a handful of notes. Took me about half an hour to address them. And then I delivered the script just to blow their minds.
Wow.
And yeah, you know, you don't want them to know. Well, first of all, I really can't. I'm not that fast, but you don't want them to know how fast you are. Then they expect.
You want to set a standard you can't keep up with.
Mm-hmm. Just to stroke my ego for one stupid second.
Yeah. Just so you know how good I can be.
Yeah.
That was the advice I would give people. I was the lead trainer for an electric company that was hiring people that had just worked at Walmart to wire stuff. And they were going in there super nervous and super scared. And all I was telling them is just give it 80% your first day. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, no, seriously, just give it 80% your first day and learn and observe and then worry about giving it 100%. No one's going to expect you to be perfect on day one.
You know?
Yeah. Speaking of,
I expect you to give 100% effort on day one.
Yes.
But I don't expect you to be perfect at what you're doing.
Exactly.
So there's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah. Good point. I like that. I had a question. You mentioned being an electrician.
All three of us are.
What's the worst electrical shock you've ever gotten?
Oh, jeez.
480 for sure. I didn't get bit, if you will. It's more like a scratch. But you know, there's been some close times. I'm lucky enough, unlike these two gentlemen, I work on unlive panels. I build the panels that they end up installing, essentially, because I do low voltage. They do the higher voltage stuff, so they have more risk.
Well, now I got to ask the question all the way around. This is the Happy Tree Friends writer in me, just doing research, basically.
Okay.
I've gotten 277 a few times. As recently as like last year. Wow. And it was supposed to be, what's messed up is it was supposed to be on something that was fed with 24 volts. So when I got hit with 277, I was really surprised.
God.
Yeah, that's what happens when you hire out of town people to come in and do work that leave town without being held accountable for it. But I digress.
So when you get that much electricity, do your bones show through? Do they flash through like I've seen so many times in my line of work?
No, I think that would be something in like the tens of thousands of volts to where it like would start literally cooking you in an instant.
Oh yeah,
I'd like to see that.
But I mean,
go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
I said that's how electricity works, though. It cooks you from the inside out.
Yep, sure does. So yeah, the longer you're on it, the more you're gonna, glow. So maybe you can do something with that.
You can say that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not like a scientific way to cook with electricity like that. Just electrocute this piece of meat for 25 minutes at so many thousand volts, and you have a perfect steak.
But it's cooked from the inside, right? So it wouldn't have that nice pink on the inside. It'd be pink on the outside.
Pink
Where I like
start a new fad.
Yeah, really reverse sear it. Why is it crunchy in the middle? But for me,
from my career,
it'd probably have to be 277 volt for me as well. And for people that don't know, so in your house, it's pretty much 120 volts for your lighting, for your outlets, everything like that. In a lot of commercial and industrial spaces, the lighting is 277 volts because it's more energy efficient.
Yeah.
And so we were doing just a lighting changing out a bunch of lights in an office space of a factory. And this was back when I was a much younger, dumber electrician. Because once you get to be about your third year of your apprenticeship, you think you're untouchable. You're like, oh, I've done this for 3 years. I know what I'm doing. Guess what? You don't. I found that out real quick because we were changing out these lights. And instead of turning the breaker off in the panel, I decided to just turn the light switch off because I had done that many, many times and it usually works. But when the power is not fed into the light switch and it's fed through the lights, yes, the lights go off, but there's still power flowing through them. And I found that out very quickly as I took the wires out of a light as I was standing on my ladder, and it knocked me 6 rungs down my ladder and onto the floor. And yeah, that hurt.
That's scary.
Real fucking bad. I've never had something where like that again. Like if I'm gonna go work on something, we're shutting that breaker off. I'm not. I ain't touching it. Because you do that a lot, especially when you're younger, especially when you're non-union and you're like you want to impress your boss and stuff. And like, oh, just do it live. Don't do it. Don't do that.
Ain't worth it.
Don't do that ever. And it is. I mean, it's scary because 277 feels like a punch almost. And it 480 will grab you, 277 will punch you, and 120 feels like a really freaking intense tickle. But 120 is actually the most dangerous because it's the most common out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, don't fuck around with electricity. I have a sticker on my hard hat that literally says, "Remember, kids, electricity will kill you." And I know it's supposed to be funny, but it's true.
Even 9-volt batteries have killed children in the past.
Yeah,
dude, literally sticking a 9-volt to your tongue can kill you. I know it's crazy. Yeah,
it's not the voltage; it's the amperage that kills you.
Yeah, and it's also not. These people had underlying conditions, of course. You know what I mean? But it basically changed the rhythm of people's hearts, killed them.
Yeah, it's all it takes is getting your heart out of the rhythm, and you're screwed.
So Ken, I guess that's you'd say the unglamorous part of our jobs is getting shocked. That's why we make the big bucks.
Absolutely.
What would you say is the most unglamorous part of being a writer?
Dealing with executives and broadcast standards and practices.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
especially in the Three Friends world.
Kind of the anti-creative in a way.
Like the general contractors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what Happy Tree Friends is, it is essentially the most fucked up animated thing I've ever seen in my life in several ways. I watched it as a kid and got caught watching it, and my mother was flabbergasted. She was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" They chainsaw each other, they hammer each other, they literally, it's like,
well, wait. This is the misconception. They do not kill each other except Flippy. When Flippy has a PTSD moment, a car backfires, he starts killing. Everybody else dies by accident. That's the whole gag. It's like, they trip and they get extruded through something. They're skiing and they go through a chain link fence and they're like,
oh my god,
fun factory through the fence. Shit like that. But everybody says, oh, they kill each other. No, they're very sweet.
That's one of them weird Mandela effects.
Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you how amazing that show has been over the years. When I first became aware of it, it was like a lot of people. Somebody just sent me a clip, and I'm like, and they said, "Dude, you won't believe this." And I'm watching these cute little animals because we start cute and we end bloody, and I'm watching these little animals saying, "What the fuck are they? What?" And then the thing happens, they die in some insanely fucked up way, and I instantly was addicted. I have never been addicted to anything that quickly, actually. Watched as many as I could and wrote them a fan letter turns out that they're based in the Bay Area, just like me. And I wrote them a letter that said, hey guys, my name's Ken Pontac. I've worked on this and that and that, and I think you guys are awesome. And they went, dude, you worked on this and that and that. We think you're awesome. And we had this whole love fest, that went on for about a year. Before I actually even ended up in the writer's room, because the asshole thing to do would be to meet them and immediately ask for a job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. We were just hanging out, and we were laughing so hard. That's what we do. We laugh so hard in that room. There's a clip, I think it's on my YouTube channel, called Nudist Monkey. I think H. It's spelled like Buddhist, because we have a character named Buddhist Monkey. And I pitched this idea, instead of Buddhist Monkey, let's do Nudist Monkey. I happen to be doing a video of that session. And basically, I'll give you guys a link if you can't find it. It's us just cracking up for 5 minutes doing something that we know we'll never be able to actually sell to our bosses. But we're just tabling the thing. We're just going to every gag that we can think of for Nudist Monkey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I found this post on Reddit, and I want to get your thoughts. Somebody made this, and it's all the characters.
Yeah.
And it said needs extreme therapy, never dies, so it's a shock. What do you think about how these are all labeled?
Let me see what the most likely favorite character. Flippy is actually the most favorite character. I think for all the wrong reasons, actually. Pop and Cub should probably lose custody. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're my favorite ones to write, actually. I love Pop and Cub. You wonder what ever happened to Mrs. Cub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have an episode where they're visiting a grave, so she must be dead. But how did she die? Disco Bear probably has a lot of harassment. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. He is a creeper, and he's probably a pedo. We've never shown his ankle bracelet.
He's got one.
He's got one. Most entertaining, Lifty and Shifty. Yeah. Oh, I skipped Flaky, too dangerous to be around others. Yeah, never die. They never die, so it's a shock when they do. That's true. Yeah, Lumpy's a dumbass. Okay, back to Lifty and Shifty. Most entertaining. They're the same character, basically. Needs a different job. Funny handy story. So we're we're at Comic-Con, and we're signing autographs. There's a big long line, and some woman comes in cosplaying Handy, and she only has one arm. The other arm's a little stump, and she has it all bandaged up, and she's got the hard hat. And that's why I love our fans.
Yeah.
It embraces it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what? The thing was, she told us that she had actually cut her fucking arm off just to impress us. So God love her. God love her.
You win. You win.
Yeah.
Number one fan.
You are the biggest fan.
Yeah. I'm your number one fan.
I get tattoos of nonsense all the time. Happy Tree Friends has almost happened a lot of times. Eventually it's going to happen. I have a cheese coney tattooed on my belly. I've got all kinds of nonsense, but at this point, that's what I do. I just want to get something that people will see like, dude, you got that tattooed on you? Yes, I fucking did.
Well, I respect the hell out of it. And that reminds me of another story. Everything is going to remind me of a story now. We're in that mode. So that same Comic-Con, I worked on the show called Bump in the Night. Very cute show. Yes. Monsters live under the bed, stop motion. There's a character named Molly Coddle. And as a matter of fact, hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Okay. What's going on, guys?
Oh,
shit.
Oh, here we go.
Is he about to bring a Molly out?
I don't have. Wait, do I? Yeah, I do.
No shit. I was pulling a photo up trying to.
There we go.
Yes.
So here's Molly.
It's awesome.
Very cute, right? So I'm at this con, and there's a guy, and he's wearing shorts, and he's a hefty guy, as many of them are at these Comic Cons. And now I'm not judging, but he was a big man, and on his sizable calf, he had Molly tattooed, except she had hips and tits, and she was totally sexualized. And it wasn't the first time that I'd seen that sort of thing. But what was this? At Rule 30, 34 or something? There's a thing, I think it's called Rule 34. If somebody has thought about it, there's pornography for it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
It's either Rule 34 or Rule 37.
I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah. And so immediately when I heard of that rule, I looked up all my characters. I might, maybe should have not.
Were you? I was going to say, were you a little traumatized by that? Like, no, my beautiful creations.
Yes and no. When I think back, and I don't have it I can't just grab it the way I can grab a lot of things. When I think back, when my wife and I got married, it was when we were doing Bump in the Night, and we actually got married in the back seat of a limo in Vegas at a drive-through wedding.
Awesome.
Drive-through chapel, yeah. And my partner and our editor were in the car with us, and they were taping the whole thing, and they cut it all together and showed it at Dailies the next Monday, while Susan and I were still in Vegas, and that's how everybody found out that we got married.
That's awesome.
And then a month later, we had a big party at the studio, our wedding party, and I had a cake made that had a very, very graphic and accurate, because my own staff made it for me, Mr. Bumpy fucking Molly. And
Oh my
Talk about
God.
a bump in the night.
there was some exactly, yeah. So I basically Rule 34'd myself, and that's the first time. Now that I think about it, when we were working on Gumby, let me just say,
No, not Gumby.
No, let it be innocent, please.
he can walk into any book.
Oh
And,
my God.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
he's got a pony pal, Pokey, too.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I hope we
Yeah.
never get Rule 34'd. God damn it. Now that I said it, someone's going to send it to us later.
Oh yeah, I may have to do it myself.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Off
There
the
might be a dad video or two out there.
Yeah.
You know what I like to say? I like to say when things get to this level, I like to just remind everybody that I write for children.
You wrote for some of my favorite children's stuff growing up, man. Not to mention Gumby, regardless of where the fuck that already
Hey,
went.
you know what? Shel Silverstein wrote children's books and he wrote for Playboy.
Yeah, exactly.
He also, I live in Sausalito, and so did he. He has actually had the career I would have loved to have had, and I've kind of had his career on a lower level, but he
That's my
definitely
guy.
is living the dream, or was living the dream.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You're
What's that on your arm there? I'm trying to see. Is that
The Giving Tree. Yep.
That's awesome.
That was like the first book I ever learned how to read, man. And so,
That's sweet.
yeah, carry it with me forever.
So now, what early stuff did you grow up watching? Curious.
For me, like one of my go-to I'm homesick from school was Arthur, to the point to where I literally will walk around, hey, what a wonderful kind of day, to still today. Like it's stuck in my head. I love Arthur. I like that Arthur challenged things and was different. And I don't know, it wasn't terrible. And you know what I mean? And sometimes the middle of the day children programs were absolutely unbearable, and that one was not. I love Arthur. Every once in a while.
Arthur was what I grew up on. I was a PBS kid. We didn't have cable, so
yeah,
Arthur was a big one for me.
Yeah. Well, when you say Arthur challenged you, when they sent me sample scripts before I started actually writing, I read them and I went, shit, these are good.
Yeah.
And I thought, am I good enough to write for this show? Because I mean, that was some really good writing. It doesn't talk down to the kids. The lesson never comes from the adults. The kids figure it out. It had a lot of really good stuff in it. The first one I wrote, as one might imagine, I was the kid in school who came up with nicknames for everybody. And so I kind of feel bad about some of the kids. Oh, not only that, Jesus Christ. My sixth grade teacher, Mr. Ekstrom, Raymond Ekstrom, bless his soul, recognized my evil talent and allowed me to make up comic books about the kids in the class, which would be read in front of the class and then put on the board every Monday. Being less subtle than I am now, they were about the fat kid, the skinny kid, the short kid. I was literally, can you fucking imagine that
just
happening?
Roasting people.
That would never, ever be allowed. So I was like, feared and worshipped.
It was a different time.
It was a totally different time. I've lost track of the original question. So the very first episode I wrote for Arthur was called Nicked by a Name, and it was based on people given nicknames. So I was able to kind of penance a little bit on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Like I said, I watched a ton of that growing up. I was a fan of that, but what I think I've spent the most personal time on something you created or had something to do with was ClayFighter. On Nintendo 64, that's probably one of the first games I put hundreds of hours in because I wanted to be good at it and I loved how cool it looked. It was like real animation. Yeah. How did you get involved with that?
Okay, let's see. At that point, me and my partner in crime, David Blyman, who's now goes by David Ichioka, we grew up together since we were 7 years old. So we are deeply entwined pals, and we had already worked on Gumby and done animation for this Fred Snyder video called "Monster in My Pants," and did like stop motion commercials around town. And some friends of ours who had worked on Gumby were working for a company called Visual Concepts on, I think the game was called Claymates. And that was, little clay sprites. You couldn't really tell that they were clay because it was just they were so small. And then they got a gig that they couldn't do called Harley's Humongous Adventure. And that had bosses that were clay boss. We did it in stop motion. This kid that flies around with a jetpack and all this shit. And they wanted us to make bosses out of clay and big enough so you could actually see the shading and stuff like that. This is still Visual Concepts. And then they liked that. And Street Fighter was pretty new back then. And they said, we want you to do a version of Street Fighter, but with clay and goofy characters. It's like, hell yeah. And it went from there. We had, let me see something here. If you'll let me dip out again for just a second, you can play your like we'll be right back music.
Right. Speak amongst yourselves.
Speaking of, boys, how's your week been? You guys been off to a good start, or?
Yesterday was rough. Today was better.
Yeah, we're trying. We're getting there. Getting all the wire run on my floor right now, so feeling pretty good about that, and kind of following the guys putting up the ceiling grid. So we're becoming fast pals.
Yep, it's the best thing to do. Best thing to do, man.
This is my first week not on 50 hours mandatory, so I have been leaving after 8 hours, and it has felt like I have barely been working.
Yeah, are you just like, wait, I get to go now?
Bro, it is literally like I came home at a normal time today. Like I worked on Toy Box stuff. I worked on DWO stuff. I put in so much little extra effort that I didn't have the chance to when I was working 2 more extra hours. So, but yeah.
Okay. So I had to sift through. I have a lot of journals, like a butt wad, and they're very lengthy journals. So it took a second to find it. But here's a journal that's got the original ClayFighter designs.
Oh wow!
Holy crap!
I'm gonna flip.
Are those your hand drawings?
Let's see. I drew the snowman. My buddy David drew Taffy Man. Let's see who else.
Oh
we got
my gosh!
I drew Bonkers. He drew Blue Suede Goo. We got a letter from Elvis on that one.
Really?
Wow.
Excuse me.
You remember those Microsoft agents? You know, Clippy, of course. But you remember any of the other ones? There was one that looked like Einstein called the Professor.
Yes.
Yeah. Me, Danger Productions, my company. David and I did that guy, and we also heard from Einstein's estate. So yeah, we like to piss off dead people.
Yeah. Like he wasn't using the gimmick anymore. What the hell?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Constructo, we never did him. This is Tiny the Wrestler.
Yes.
He was called Big Boxer then. The Blob.
There he is.
The fucking Blob, man. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is early Ichabod Clay.
That is fantastic.
So that we called him Ghost Guy then. Let's see what else we got.
Ichabod Clay
is through here for a second. Here's a couple we didn't use. This Big Baby character and Caveman. I like the Big Baby. I think he would have worked.
Yes.
Nice round shapes. Let's see.
This is like the perfect thing in the world for me, right? This is just soothing my soul to see shit like this. I can't tell you, me and my cousins, Mikey, James, and Creighton, we spent hours playing this game and just beating the shit out of each other on it and trying to get better and get. This was the first time I ever focused on a fighting game.
So there's bad Mr. Frosty getting it. You know, I love that you said that. I was at a convention some years ago, and some guys, you know, about your age, some guy comes up to me and we had ClayFighter playing on like a big screen in the gaming room. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Dude, my brother and I used to fight over your shit." I thought, well, that's the best thing I'm going to hear today.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. It's got to be comforting to you at, you know, looking at back at your stuff in your career to know that you've formulated memories for children all over the world. I just lived in Hamilton, Ohio, a little suburb of Cincinnati, and your work tremendously affected my upbringing. We still talk fondly about kicking each other's ass in these games. So it's surreal,
crazy,
right?
And humbling. I mean, I've always known that I have a big audience and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not dumb. And it's always been very humbling. But just recently, with some of the postings I've done on Facebook, where I put up the Bump in the Night characters, and in like 3 days, I had 44,000 responses and 3,000 comments and a fuck ton of direct messages. It's right.
Dude.
And I get shit from people. You know, I got somebody from Happy Tree who was a Happy Tree Friends fan, who would have suicidal thoughts and would watch it and not kill herself. And I just got one yesterday from a woman, big Bump in the Night fan. Her father she would watch it early in the morning. He died when she was like 12 or something. And they didn't have an urn for him. They couldn't afford one. They had a cardboard box, and she and her sister put Bump in the Night stickers all over it. So you hear shit like that over and over and over and over again. It's the amazing. It's amazing, you know,
dude. The amount of people that you've been able to help with your work, connect with your work, stuff like that. I'm looking through your list of accolades here because I'm like, I wonder if I watched, like, I know I watched Gumby, I know I watched this, that, but like ReBoot, I never even realized that was the name of the show. I watched the shit out of that show.
Oh, I love ReBoot,
dude. I Googled it as soon as I saw the first image. It was like unlock. I was like, oh yeah. And same with like Mucha Lucha, dude. Mucha Lucha was awesome. Right?
Like, wait a second,
bro. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Not to mention the fact that you look a little bit like a slightly older Goldberg. You know what I mean? That's you're Goldberg in 20 years. So
I'll take it.
That's fair.
Yeah. It makes me super happy, and it's so much fun to give back at this point. You know, I get on Amazon to buy my own shit to give away to people. I always walk around with a pocket full of Happy Tree Friends stickers. And if I see somebody that even seems like they're in the demographic, you know, like a cashier or, you know, whoever I'm interacting with, I'll say, you ever heard of a series called Happy Tree Friends? And if they say no, that's the end of the conversation. But if they say yes, I say, oh, I write for that. Generally the reaction is, what? And then I give them a few stickers, and for, you know, pennies worth of Chinese knockoffs, because some of these things are so fucking off character or off model, it's hysterical. For just you know, less than a penny's worth of paper and glue, I've made somebody's day.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's amazing what a sticker can do, man. I'll tell you that right now. It really is. A sticker. I actually just bought my 10-year-old daughter. I bought her a new water bottle, and it was completely white. And I was like, why don't you like sticker bomb it? I was like, you got a ton of stickers for like Christmas and your birthday and stuff. Dude, she just brought it down. You can't tell the thing's white anymore. It is
nice
stickers everywhere. My Hero Academia, freaking Gravity Falls. There's some random corgis on there. Like it's awesome.
Well, I'm thinking about it. Before the smoke clears on all this shit, you guys give me a mailing address and I'll send you some stickers and God knows what else.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
That'd be fantastic. And I would gladly put it in my nonsense room.
House of Menagerie.
Nonsense room. I think you can see that I kind of have a nonsense room here.
I love it. Yes. I'm loving your background. I've been kind of looking at it the whole time, like, what in the heck does he got in there?
These are like some of the costumes. This is actually, this is a better view. That's my Green Man costume, so it's head to toe. This kind of shit. Here's a Here's a pirate costume over here. Here's like anatomically correct.
The Muscle Man from PBS.
Hell yeah.
Anatomically correct man.
Funny thing about the pirates, because I'm way into. I wrote that song. You Were a Pirate. You know that one?
No.
Well, okay, there's a song I wrote. There's a show called Lazy Town I worked on, and Icelandic show. This is where I got the hot dogs. Icelandic show, and I wrote a couple of scripts for them. And the first thing they gave me,
I know exactly what this is. Holy shit!
You wrote that?
Yeah, I did.
Holy shit, dude. You are unlocking so much shit in my head right now. This is crazy.
Look at this comment. Lazy Town is nightmare fuel, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. That show was like acid. It was crazy being on the set there. I made dear friends with Stephen Carl, Robbie Rotten, Just a lovely man. Died way too young of some kind of fucking cancer, but he was amazing. But yeah, I've always been into pirates, and I went there and they gave me a pirate script to punch up, and they said you need to write a song, and I thought sure, and I wrote it and came back to the United States, and about a year later I got on YouTube and I wonder what happened to that little song I wrote. And it's like, oh, it has 36 million hits on this one place, and here's another place where they're doing mashups, and oh, they're getting married to it, and there it's a drinking game. It's a thing, it just turned into a thing.
Oh, shit, dude, that is crazy.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's just, what's cool to me, and I'm gonna again touch on the you connecting with people. You have written for shows that I grew up watching. You have also written for shows that my 10-year-old daughter grew up watching.
I know.
I grew up watching, obviously the stuff in the 90s. She was an Octonauts kid when she was 3 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is so cool. I don't know the terminology for it. I don't have the words, but it's awesome.
In private, because we don't want the stalkers to get her. Give me her name. I got an Octonauts thing that I send to young fans.
Okay.
So she's going to get one.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Creature report. Creature report.
That was a fun show to write for.
Man, the amount of times I heard that over and over and over. Like, because that was her 3-year-old era was, I want to watch the same freaking thing 17 times a day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Octonauts and Moana. And weirdly enough, she wants to be a marine biologist when she grows up. So I think she just likes the ocean.
Cool.
So hey, maybe you had a hand in giving her the love of ocean life. There you go.
Maybe a drop.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was so cool. Like I'm looking, still through all the stuff, and I'm just like, Octonauts, oh my God. So like we both watched stuff that you made. That's really cool.
You know what's funny? If you look at the Octonauts and you look at the Happy Tree Friends, they look fucking exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Octonauts, they just don't show any
side by
of
side.
You weren't
And
supposed to
I
notice.
defy you to, if they were just flat drawings, one's modeled 3D and the other one's flat, you wouldn't know which one was a Happy Tree Friend.
That's so funny.
So with us doing this podcast, we've had quite a few cool moments where, like, we go to wrestling conventions and stuff, and we've met a lot of cool wrestlers that we've grown up with and had a lot of really cool moments just because we have this podcast together.
Yeah.
Who's the most random celebrity you've had a moment with that has happened because of your career as a writer? Have you ever had any, like, oh, I partied with Elton John one night, or so, you know what I mean? Just some kind of crazy something.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the TV type people. We've had, when we were doing the voice casting for Bump in the Night, we had Mark Hamill in there.
Oh wow.
We had Sally Struthers. Oh, poor Sally. She was having problems with her daughter, and she was going, "My daughter says I'm the joke of the world." And it's like, that is not helping your chances to get the voice of Molly Cottle right now.
I pray out to Sally Struthers every time I'm hungry.
Exactly.
Sally Struthers, help me.
Oh, who's
breathe in?
There was some big ass guy who was, I think, on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett. He was great. He actually did the voice of a Big Mike in Baby Jail.
That's fitting.
It's Big Mike. He's got a tooth. And we had him screaming. I forget why. He was like, and we said, give us more. And he got louder and louder. And he finally said, "Hey man, I'm on my third testicle here."
As deep as I can go.
I guess the most famous person that I ever encountered because of my writing is me and David had a term deal over at Lorimar. back in the day to develop stop motion shows.
Yes.
And, all sorts of people would walk through there. And basically, I told Ringo Starr where he can go to take a shit.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, he just asked me what the
wow.
bathroom was. I didn't say, hey, fucking Ringo, you can take a big shit and step in it.
I'm going to believe you
Funny,
did
but
that.
he's a nice guy.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I guess Ringo.
It's appreciated.
Nice, Ringo.
Taking all the bad Beatle you got there.
Damn, Eric. Didn't you hit that in the arsenal?
Oh yeah, come on, we pull it out every once in a while.
That's pretty good, buddy.
Thanks.
We have to do a whole Beatles episode.
Honestly, I get it from the Dewey Cox movie when they're all doing the really.
You don't want this, Dewey Cox.
When he meets the Beatles and it's freaking Jack Black and Paul Rudd and all
my
them.
gosh.
Paul Rudd's, yeah. Anyway, that's where I take inspiration from that because it's just them doing their accents super animatedly.
Right. Ask me another thing. I probably have a story about it.
Man, we got so many things. See what we were talking about it just the other day. I was watching a video on it. What the heck? I gotta look in our freaking thing. Where is it?
You ever written a character that's a little too scarily like yourself?
They're all me, one way or another. Mr. Bumpy is the most me of anything. Here's a funny story about that. Kind of sideways story. So Saturday morning, show premieres. Get a call from my mom, and she says, "Jesus, Ken, you've been drawing that thing since you were 7 years old."
Oh,
And I said, "Yeah," because on the greatest day of my life, I have got to stick a knife in my mom and twist it. I said, "Yeah, remember how you used to tell me to stop drawing monsters and draw something pretty like a horse or a flower?" And she said, "Yeah, I was wrong." And I wasn't sure. It's like my TV show on the air, my mom saying she was wrong. Which is greater? I don't know. I'll take them both.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm Mr. Bumpy.
There you go. I do remember what I was going to talk about now. Our boy Cephas here sent us a documentary that you're making. Is that an accurate statement?
It's a very accurate statement. I'm making a documentary. My whole team is. It's about the place that I've done a lot of work with. It's called Autistry Studios, AUTISTRY, and it's an organization that is basically a therapeutic makerspace for autistic youth and adults, and the program there is amazing. They work with retired thoroughbred horses, and I teach an animation class that is based on some people who were at Pixar, among other places. They developed that, and we have a drama program, and we show at the Shakespeare Theater in San Rafael. And I would advise everybody. Thank you so much for this. I'm going to hold up a URL. Anybody who wants to see more about this, please go to this URL. It's our YouTube page, and we have a trailer that we shot. It's about 2 or 3 minutes long, and we're working on 3 episodes right now, 15 minutes each, and we hope to do more. And working at Autistry is the second best thing I've ever done in my life.
Okay. I actually just posted a link to it in our comment section here. So anybody that is in there, you can go ahead and follow that link. I watched it, like I said, I watched it the other day. It's very, very cool what you guys are doing there. And I can't wait to see the documentary. It seems like you're doing some awesome stuff.
Thank you. You know, a lot of neurospicy people love
neurospicy. I love that.
Yeah. The whole reason I got involved with Autistry is I was at some event for autism. Basically, if you know one mommy in Marin with a autistic kid, you know a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And so I was at some event, fundraiser or something, And I mentioned in casual conversation to somebody that I had worked on Gumby and Bump in the Night. And a student from Audustry heard that and imprinted on me like a baby duck and said, dude, you've got to come to this place that I go to. And I did. And I did a version of the presentation that I do when I speak at high schools and stuff. And it was just an instant love fest. And it was all because of my animation work. You know, it just, it's a door that has opened to a million different places.
Neurospice was the 5th Spice Girl. I think there was already 5 Spice Girls, wasn't there?
Damn it, Justin.
Justin is like the king of our comments. He's pretty good. Man, my children, for lack of a better term, dance along the spectrum. They are. My daughter she's currently in a competition right now, sponsored by Bob Ross Foundation, to try to basically be on one of the new episodes because of how artistic she is. And my son, he's got a lot of tics, but he's super fucking really good at gaming, and just like he's got like a bright future at him. He's so smart. So when I see things like the Audustry Studio, I don't know, it just sometimes I wonder that if my children lack, because when I was younger, I learned how to skin animals and stuff. You know, my children don't have to do any of that. And I wonder if they lack in that respect. Sometimes, you know, if things go Mad Max, they might not be able to, quote unquote, you know, catch and skin a deer, but they know a lot of things I don't know too. You know what I mean? So it's like this weird catch-22 you find yourself in being a parent, of trying to, I don't know, foster what's good for them now and also try to teach them a balance of reality. It's weird these days.
Yeah. One of the founders of Audustry was founded because Janet and Dan had a kid who was autistic. And after when he was getting towards the end of high school, it's like, where do you put him? And so they started their own program at home, and it turned it into you know, from a house to a barn to a warehouse. Now there are 3 facilities. Yeah, there's 3 different facilities. And like 40 mentors, and I don't even know how many students. It's huge. And we were interviewing Janet as part of the documentary, and she said exactly what you just said, except it wasn't skinning animals. It was making sugar cookies. You know, I imagine rolling out the dough and, you know, cutting them out and baking them. And she said, and that's not going to happen. But that was my future for Ian. It wasn't his. His future is his future. Yeah. And that's just very wise way to be a parent.
Yeah.
I try to let them do exactly what they want within reason.
Let them choose their choose their path
and support it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, I mean, I always wanted to make my own stop motion cartoon. I literally have a whole thing drawn up as well. It's called the Jalapenos from the Galapagos, and that is absolutely a mispronounced jalapeno, by the way. But I was going to have little characters and everything, but I never had the chance to do it growing up. So when my daughter told me, "Hey, I want to make a horror movie," we're going to make a horror movie, come hell or high water. You know what I mean? And we're going to make it happen, and we're going to do whatever she wants to do to make that movie happen. Because I didn't have that growing up. I feel like every kid should, you know, every kid should have someone supporting every wild dream they have. Absolutely.
Yeah. I kind of feel that has been part of what my career is, honestly. You know, I just want people to think outside the box and imagine other places, other worlds, other ways to be. And certainly when I'm one-on-one with them, that's what I always tell them. When I'm talking to the high school, I'm an art school dropout, and I dropped out of a real, like one of the big ones. And because what happened was, here's another story. So me and my buddies are, and this will speak to, you know, following your dream and doing what you want. Me and my buddies are at the local art house watching the midnight show of Eraserhead. And you guys know Eraserhead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crazy David Lynch movie. Yeah. And we are just tripping balls. And we decide that we should make a film that shows before Eraserhead. We'll stop motion film. And so we did. We used all the equipment at school, and I cut my classes for a month. Turned it into my earth science teacher, who said, "This has nothing to do with my program. I'm going to fail you." But I didn't really care. I wasn't going to be an earth scientist. And one thing led to another, and Art Clokey saw it. And that's how I started my career. If I hadn't cut classes, and then I dropped out of school because I wasn't going to be. I'm just reading that. All right, was that Rachel?
Watch.
Yeah,
Rachel. And so I dropped out of school because I wasn't going to be in advertising, which was my major. I was going to be in animation, like I always wanted to be anyway. And so when I'm lecturing to schools, or lecturing to you all now, I tell people, school is not about the piece of paper. I mean, it is if you're going to be a doctor, you kind of need the piece of paper, unless you're going to do back alley shit. But it's not about the piece of paper. It's about the journey. I mean, everything is about the journey.
Yeah.
It's about the people you meet and the windows that open up. And my window had nothing to do with graduating from college.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, honestly, the things you need the piece of paper for, you still need the journey along with it, because those that have the piece of paper and don't have the journey with it usually turn out to be pretty shitty with that piece of paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really is all about the journey. And I mean, I've told my girls that too. Like, I went to a high school that didn't have a shop class or anything like that. I was go to college. And I went to 3 different colleges in 3 years, and finally figured out, hey, I don't like this. This isn't what I'm supposed to do. And then 2 years later, I dropped out. 2 years later, took a chance on a trade, and worked out pretty freaking well. I found out, hey, I'm good at this stuff.
Yeah.
And, so that's why, like Cephas was saying, I encourage my kids to try everything. If you're interested in something, let's try it. Why not? And I'm not going to let them, quit it right away or anything like that. But, I encourage them to just try. You don't have to pick something when you're 6 and just do that the rest of your life. Yeah. That's what growing up's all about, is gaining experience. It's like leveling up in a video game.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly like that. And there's bosses every time.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've lived my life by, and I always, when I'm lecturing, talk about what luck is. Luck, to me, it's an invisible window that opens and closes really quickly. Mm-hmm. And it can happen at any time. And there's 3 things that you need to take advantage of that moment. First of all, you got to be able to even see the invisible window. That's thing number 1. If you don't see that, then it's all over. And the second thing is, once it opens, you got to be brave enough to jump right the fuck through it. Immediately jump through it. And then the video game part is, when you get to the other side of that window, you need something in your hand to show the boss, the next boss, because otherwise you're just in this other place with nothing to show, and you've wasted the jump.
I like that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it kind of goes hand in hand with what Justin said here. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Like, you got to be prepared. Yeah. When you make that jump, but yeah, you got to have the bravery and the fuck it, let's go to jump through.
Yeah, Justin actually said it more succinctly than I did. And I'm sticking with my goddamn window.
Hey, I like the window. Justin is our purveyor of dad jokes and
sage advice.
He has a way with words.
Yeah.
He and I met by happenstance because we have a similar tattoo, and so it's just, that's what this podcast is for us. We may never be, Howard Stern levels of a talk show. It's most likely that we won't. but we're getting cool experiences like this with you. We got to sit down with Jonathan Joss from King of the Hill. We've got to sit down with professional wrestlers that are legends and some that are up and coming. And we've made friends with a lot of cool people, all just because we like the bullshit. So
that's how it works. I've got everywhere I've gotten that's good is because I reached out to somebody I admire. Art Clokey. We're at a film rental place. Oh, thank you, sir. We're at a film rental place because that's the way that you back when we did it, that's how you showed a movie. You needed a dark room and a machine that went like that and a wall.
Yeah.
And we were renting some cartoons to show on a sheet for a party we were having. And we would take this film anywhere with us, 16 millimeter. And the woman who ran the video place said, "Oh, you do stop motion? I handle some of Art Clokey's films. Here's his phone number." Called him right the fuck up. Happy Creepers, guys. I already told you that story. William Burroughs, the guy who wrote Naked Lunch. I reached out to him about doing a stop motion film. And he was into it, but us kids couldn't get the budget together back in my 20s, like I think $1,500 was, too much. But I ended up, at a party at Timothy Leary's house with William Burroughs, and that was a while. So,
that
awesome.
should have been your celebrity moment there.
Come to think of it, yeah. Well,
Timothy Leary, the name.
I kind of have a long list of those guys, and I don't that wouldn't have come up. I wouldn't have thought of that unless it had come up in the story. I don't remember a lot of shit.
I wonder
what happened in the 80s for some reason. I don't know.
Raise your head.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I was in that video, that Steve Perry video, "Oh Sherry." You know that one?
Oh,
so
yeah.
at the beginning, they've got like all these people, like the lords and ladies for the video that he didn't want to do. I'm one of those guys.
Really?
I was a Hollywood extra, yeah. And I forgot about that for almost a decade because of the 80s.
Yeah. We'll just call it that. The 80s. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Man, do you
Actually, I do have a lot of funny Coke stories. I got to tell you one.
You wouldn't be the first on the show. I mean,
you wouldn't be the first.
Okay, so here's my best Hollywood Coke story.
yes.
So we all worked at these big light tables with both hands doing detail work, right? And the director would come up behind us and he'd put one finger on a nostril here and he'd hold the spoon under our nose while we were still working. And he'd go, and we just go, and just without missing a beat.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
38 hours later, we were
Fucking working.
Yeah. I remember I was so proud of myself when I worked my first 100-hour week.
Oh my God, dude.
That's what capitalism wants you to do, right?
Yeah, I work 50, 60 hours and I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So I woke up on the floor once because you spend the night, you work 100 hours a week. You're doing all-nighters. You're on the floor, right? And so I get up and to get breakfast, and I go to the refrigerator. Well, they've got Lucky Charms. Yeah, it was Lucky Charms. And I go to the refrigerator and there's no milk, but there was Dr. Pepper.
Oh no.
It was almost too sweet. As a friend of mine who's a doctor would say, tastes like diabetes.
Everybody knows you got to put water on that
Well,
shit.
here, speaking of that, we got an 80s question. Speaking of the 80s, Coca-Cola or New Coke?
Oh God.
I like New Coke.
Mexican fucking Coke.
Yeah.
Glass bottle.
Hecho en Mexico. That's the best kind.
It really is. There's a
Glass
there's
bottle.
a taco joint up the street from us, and it's one of my favorite things every time we go. Get that glass bottle. Ooh.
Costco sells them by the case.
They do.
Where are you guys broadcasting from anyway?
Greater Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To call back to something we talked about earlier, I have quite a few Coke stories myself, being the lead singer of a metal band. But to quote a person we were talking about earlier, no, I don't it no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor.
Yeah.
There was a time in my life where you could have had a mystery powder and I'd be like, shit, dude, why not?
Right?
And now I'm like, does that got aspartame? You know what I mean? Like, what's in this? What is this? You know, I don't.
Okay, since everything ties together with everything, I have a good waking up on the floor story. So at that same party where we were renting the cartoons to show on the garage, it was a costume party because me and David would have these costume parties every year. And the theme of that particular party, because they were themed, was genetic mutation caused by radiation or chemicals, I believe.
It's a party thing?
Yeah. So that was, people are supposed to dress up like that. So I had hair back then. And I shaved half of my hair off and half of my beard off. And I got a friend, Kevin Mack. He was one of my roommates at Art Center. He's like this Oscar award-winning effects guy. But back then, we were kids. And he sculpted this little mini version of me. It was like all fucked up, right? And we had it rigged so it could puke. And
oh my God,
clothes on this side of my body were burned up and shit. And I had all this like prosthetics, of wounds and shit. And they were just packed with Vaseline, and I looked fucking nasty. So I wake up on the floor the next morning and I look at my arm, and there was that moment between sleep and wake when you're kind of like parking the spaceship.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh fucking hell, what have I done?
Oh no!
I went too far.
I punked myself.
That's amazing.
One more thing too, back to the metal thing. I've been posting a lot just recently on in Facebook groups because it's here we are, right? Because you put it out there and things happen. So somebody on the bump page is part of a group called something like, crappy metal album covers or something like that. And I did this cover for an album by a band named Attacker called Battle at Helm's Deep. And it's just like this shitty fucking painting. It's just ridiculous. But apparently it's legendary. It's like so bad, it's legendary.
So bad.
And that blew my mind. It's like, okay, here's a whole other group of people. Apparently I got this guy into music because of that. Just like
it's like seeing the roots of your own tree, brother. It's weird.
It's really weird. It's and like I said before, it's super gratifying. I think I can die feeling like I made a basically good mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck, don't make us go that kind of viral.
Faces of death.
That would be some shit. It went from one of the best episodes we ever had to what the fuck episode we've ever had. No, Ken, you've been an absolute awesome guest, man. We try to, toot our own horn when we say we pick quality guests. Man, you've been fantastic. You really have. I appreciate you. Mike and Big Rig, we do have two questions that we ask every single guest. And they are the purveyor of those questions. And before we get to where we're wrapping up, I want to make sure we get those questions in so we don't break our streak. And Mike, I'll ask you the first one.
Absolutely. Us dads are very budget-minded individuals, and saving money around the house is key. So we like to gauge our guests a little bit on what do you keep your thermostat set to?
We don't really have a thermostat. We have a space heater that we turn on periodically. So I guess I would have to say
nothing.
0.
You win.
Okay.
Yeah, you win. You don't even need the thermostat.
Hold on. No AC either?
No, and it gets fucking cold in Sausalito. We're doing a full remodel of the place, and hit me up towards middle of this year, and I might have a different answer for you.
There you go.
Okay.
And then another thing that we like to ask. I actually have two. The other one's not really a question, but the first one is just doesn't have to be anything deep or anything like that. Just what's something you're thankful for today? Just something off the top of your head that you're just like, man, hell yeah.
All my friends. That is the currency of your life. You're on your deathbed. All that money is going to be fucking meaningless. You can surround yourself with big piles of money, and well, some people will draw comfort from that, I guess. But I like to think that I'll be surrounded by people who love me.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, God, you just hit the nail on the head right there. But also, I found it, and I just got to bring it up. So here we go. Rock and roll. Battle at Helm's
Yeah,
Deep.
man.
What a beauty.
That's fantastic.
Well, thank you. I think it shows a charming naivete as far as human anatomy goes.
Maybe we'll have to commission you to come up with some logos for us and stuff. We got some couple different series we've got cooking for episodes, so maybe we'll if you want to put your artistic talents to the test, we might have a few commissions for you.
Yeah, we like to commission anyone we can too. We got a lot of artist friends that way that we developed really good friendships just because we bought some art from them. So
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, nothing is out of the realm of possibility. I've learned that over and over and over again.
Yes,
that is true.
Yes.
Life surprises us every day. That is for sure. Well, Ken, thank you so much, man. You boys got anything else before we head out of here?
Man, just we're at Squared Circle Expo this year, boys and girls. We are this close. They might even have been announced while we've been on the episode. But we're this close to announcing our guest that's going to be at our table. But it's somebody that was a former guest of our show. So if you want to look back in the last year, you'll see exactly who it is if you really think about it. Because it's a former 44OH member, and there's only so many of those that was on our show. So, but check that out. We got that brewing. We got a bunch of ideas brewing as well. Make sure you're checking out Ken Pontac on the Facebook. Are you on Instagram or anything else as well? Or
not in any meaningful way. The best thing that anybody could do is go to that YouTube site and subscribe. We need eyeballs to show legitimacy to, you guys know you're on fucking YouTube. Besides that, just be good people. I would ask everybody to do something nice to a stranger, or for a stranger. Don't do it to them, but maybe that too. I don't know. I'm not going to judge.
Let me do this nice thing for you.
I'm rubbing your fucking shoulders.
Yeah. Do some. I hate to sound like a Hallmark card, but a random act of kindness. One a day if you can manage it.
Well, I mean, that's what I always say at the end of our streams. Be nice, check for lice. That's something you can always do that's nice,
I think you're good.
I think you're good, but, for others.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ken. This has been an absolute blast. As always, we have been the DWO podcast. I am Big Rig Eric Manfey. He is Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Bo Cephas. And he is the one, the only Mr. Ken Pontac. As always, you can check us out on all the socials at DWO_podcast, Facebook at the DWO podcast, TikTok at DWO_pod. Get that damn merch at Pro Wrestling Tees, TeePublic, or message us directly. Make sure you go check out the link in the comments to the YouTube for Ken's documentary trailer. Also, if you're watching the replay, just pause it when he holds up his piece of paper. Easy peasy. And as always, be nice, check for lice, and until next time, top dads, out.